Hi, everybody. It's Joy from the Women's AI Visibility Institute. And today we're going to wrap up our conversation about entity establishment. And I kind of wanted to talk about why does it matter? Why is it important? And give you some reasons on why you need to address your entity. We've talked about how it's beneficial for the law firm that you're currently at because it's a corroboration tool of what the firm says and what you say, they connect together. It's a benefit if you go to another firm because you're not starting from zero for your digital footprint. You're bringing digital assets to your new firm, and that's valuable. And it's also great if you're going out on your own because you're not starting from zero. You have a digital footprint that AI can read, that's machine readable. So you're not losing anything. But today I wanted to talk about the scale of invisibility because even though I've talked about the benefits that we just went through, I want you to have an understanding of why being invisible to AI is so devastating for a woman attorney. The first thing I want to talk about is the scale of invisibility. And I'm going to read a little bit today from my notes because there's some data in here that should help you grasp the importance of entity establishment. First of all, I did a study on Wikidata, which we've talked about this week, of all 50 states. How many women showed up in all 50 states with their own Wikidata identity? 6.3% of documented attorney entities are women. Zero practicing private bar women attorneys hold entries in any state data set. So, of the 6.37% of women that have Wikidata entities, they're judges, they're senators, they're historians. No private practice attorneys have it. None. Zero. Zilch. How we came upon this was the Florida study where we started measuring it. We studied 422 attorneys in Florida, zero came back with a Wikidata entity, which triggered me to say, if there's not any in Florida, what are we looking at? Which is why I went through all 50 states and spent some time analyzing that. The point is, this is not a competitive market where women rank lower. This is an empty category where there's no women present and very few men. Very few things in life is there an open category that you can grab hold of and have an impact. This is the category. Second thing that WAVE studied and got results from is that infrastructure most attorneys think that they don't have. And that was in the Texas study. So if you think about, you have schema markup on your website. Schema markup is machine readable code that AI reads to find out what you do. What attorneys think they have and what they actually have, 84% in Texas had schema markup, only 28% had correct schema markup. And when I talk about that, what I'm talking about is comprehensive schema markup, meaning it has your name, it has the areas you practice, it has your bar number, it has videos that you've done that has schema markup that relate back to you. In essence, it's really anything that you do, there's schema markup on your website identifying that because that's how AI can quickly see what you've done. Effort already is spent on putting schema markup on your website, but you're not getting the benefit from it. So that needs to be corrected because AI needs to be able to read the structure that you have on your website, meaning it doesn't want to fill in the blanks. If you're an attorney, what's your bar license number? Where do you practice? What kind of law do you practice? What are some credentials that you have? Where did you go to school? When did you graduate? All those type of things can be coded on your website so AI can search it and say this person is legit. They have their bar license number, where they graduated from, the area of their practice, their location, their name is correct, all those things. And I could go on and on, but you get my point. The next area that I want to talk about is whose signal is actually being used. And this goes back to Perplexity in terms of we analyzed the citations that Perplexity looks at. What we found is, on average, for our Texas study, 37 citations were used to identify who an attorney is. So if you think about that, AI went out and looked at 37 different sources to validate who a person is. When your own signal is weak, which is what we just covered in terms of schema markup, when your own signal is weak, AI goes out to look at what they can find about you. And that's called borrowed visibility because you don't control it. That's the problem. Because all these sources that it went out to look at, A, you don't know who they are unless you run yourself on Perplexity. And B, you don't have any control over the 37. It could be 47, 27. It doesn't matter. The number is one data set, but the sources that Perplexity is using is something that you don't control. That in and of itself is problematic. When your own signal is weak, the platform substitutes someone else's description of you. And I call that the aggregator substitution effect. Last thing, why is this necessary? Why is it worth it? Entity records are durable. Once you create your entity, it stays with you. Content comes and goes. A lot of information is out on the web of post more, do more videos. I say the same thing. You have to post, you have to write articles, you have to do videos. That information has a shelf life. Creating your own entity does not. It's durable. It moves with you. You have flexibility to move to another firm and not start from zero. You have flexibility to start your own firm and not start from zero. When you are using borrowed visibility from the firm that you're currently at, that boxes you in. And you might not know that or see the effect of that today, but it is coming. It's here because AI is already recommending attorneys instead of firms. If you think about, AI didn't used to recommend firms or attorneys because it didn't have a credibility signal tied to it. Then it's recommending firms because they've developed credibility. Now it's recommending firms and individual attorneys. In the near future, it's going to be recommending attorneys. That's why it's important. That's why if you plan on working for the next decade at least, you need to establish your own entity. If you want more information on this, we offer ebooks, we do webinars. We have 2 webinars coming up for CLE credit in Texas and in Colorado. Go to our website, look under CLE approved webinars. We try to provide as much information as we can to women attorneys to say, hey, take this serious. The double bias or the invisible bias is here and you need to overcome it. So I hope this week was good for you. We talked about entity. Next week, we're diving deep into a different topic. But if you have any questions, please email me. My email address is joy@wavinstitute.com. All right. Thanks so much.